In the words of Charlie Pellet, here we go. The 2021-22 high school basketball season is upon us. We start with the St. Thomas Thanksgiving tip-off in a new location this year, the Schoberg-Flynn Arena. And our first game today features a state tournament contender in Class 2A and a dark horse in 3A, the Providence Academy Lions and the Hutchinson Tigers. Hello everyone, I'm Mike Peden, joined by Mr. Mayak, Alex Nagel. Alex, new venue this year with St. Thomas, now Division I. They can't host this invite because it would be a conflict of interest, but on the plus side, a venue that normally hosts boys games only gets to showcase some top girls talent, and I can't think of a better way to start than last year's runner-up, the Providence Academy Lions in Class 2A.
Well, I'll tell you what, Mike, this Providence Academy team sure has a lot to prove this year, and they're very hungry, and they've got a lot of talent.
They certainly do. One of them won't be able to play. Kira Miller tore her meniscus, but you've got three Count sisters, Grace, Hope, and Maria, and the 8th grade sensation, Maddyn Greenway. She already has an offer from the Gophers. A long way before she has to decide what school she'll attend, but I'd say the future is bright.
Well, I tell you what, bright is probably an understatement when it comes to Maddyn Greenway. Just only an 8th grader, Mike, but she sees the floor so well, and she directs the offense so well, and she knows how to get her other players involved on the offensive end. So she's just going to be so fun to watch this year.
And she played an integral role in last year's run to the silver medal. Hutchinson, they've got a tough assignment with Marshall in their section, but you've got Alyssa Stamer, Brynn Beffert. Stamer will play at St. Cloud State. Beffert, we know, one of the top members of her class. So this Hutchinson team, they may not be in the preseason rankings, but don't sleep on this group.
Exactly, and I'm really interested to see how well Brynn Beffert does down low. She's very strong, and she's got to get a lot of rebounds for them today, Mike.
Today is game 1 out of a possible 32, but you got to start somewhere, and we'll see how these teams start when we return. Twin Cities Sports Broadcasting, and a whole lot more. That's what you get from TSB Television. We provide long-lasting digital coverage of your favorite athletes from the preps to the pros. Dazzling moves. Holloman, good if it goes. Yes! Game winners. James, she's in trouble. Finds James, tough shot! It goes in! And everything in between. Before we let you go, do you want to say hi to anybody?
Oh, I don't know. That put me on the spot there.
If you want to connect with our audience, visit us at patreon.com/TSB Television or sponsor our coverage through PayPal and Cash App. Thank you for watching. Mike Peden and Alex Nagel back with you at the Schoberg-Flynn Arena in St. Thomas Academy. And Alex, beforehand, you were telling me how this is a new venue for you, a new surrounding.
Well, Mike, you always have been able over the years to get me to places I haven't been before, so this certainly isn't the first time for that.
We've been here a couple of times in our past coverage, or I was, when Minnehaha Academy used this site as a temporary home as the building recovered from that explosion. And I've done some St. Thomas Academy boys games, but this is going to be fun. St. Thomas Academy shares the same campus with Visitation, but they both have separate gyms. And we won't be able to cover every game, but one perk is multiple courts available. So Margaret Sloan, one of the directors of this tip-off, was able to bring in more teams.
Yep.
And Providence Academy, one of them.
Yep.
And Connor Gates has some new members in his coaching staff, Brian Cosgriff and Daniel Makepeace. Brian, of course, winning 6 state titles at Hopkins, and Daniel, a member of the Eastview and Cooper teams that won state championships in girls basketball. Eastview 2014, Cooper 2018.
Yep.
And Connor was telling me, and Brian told you the same thing, how much he enjoys being an assistant because fewer responsibilities. That's not to say he doesn't.
He was telling me this morning.
Right.
I said, one of the nice things is I don't have to worry about the buses being on time. I don't have to worry about if we have scorekeepers or not. That's not on me anymore, so I really enjoy that.
Now, that being said, Brian does not shy away from responsibility.
No.
He told me, I'm here to help out, not that Connor needs it.
Yeah.
He's been around long enough. He knows
Well, he's certainly got a lot of experience, and I tell you what, when you have a coaching staff that includes Brian Cosgriff, you've got a good thing going on.
Brian and Daniel Makepeace together.
Yes.
Those Providence kids are going to learn a lot. Here are the starters for you. Hutchinson, the home team. Avery Watsky, Alyssa Stamer, Savannah Schlueter, Zoe Verhasselt, Brynn Beffert will be your starting 5. For Providence, Brooke Honecker, Emma Millerburn, Maddyn Greenway, Grace Counts, and Maria Counts. You will see all 3 Counts sisters on the floor. Hope, the 9th grader. Maria getting some college offers, still sorting out her options. Grace, I imagine, will follow suit. Alyssa Stamer, as we noted in the open, going to St. Cloud State. And the season is underway. Maddyn Greenway, that should say that's Honecker. Greenway's 30, Honecker's 3. Brooke is the younger sister of Haley Honecker. Maddyn set some school records in the condensed pandemic season a year ago as a 7th grader.
I tell you what, that's going to be a fun matchup, Alyssa Stamer and Maddyn Greenway.
Grace in trouble. Oh, and that's going to be another fun battle. Beffert and the Count sisters.
Yep.
And Beffert winning that one, forcing the tip, and giving the ball to Hutchinson on the arrow. Tim Ellefson, the head coach of Hutchinson, also involved with Minnesota Fury. Connor Gates, helming Providence Academy the last several years, and what a ride it was for them. They upset Sauk Center a couple years ago. The state tournament was suspended as the pandemic first hit us. Last year, they got all the way to the finals, lost to Albany, and here's Maddyn Greenway with the steal and the run out for our first basket of the season. Maddyn broke the school record in scoring in a season as a 7th grader, and I've got a feeling she may make a run at that with a traditional 26-game regular season. Oh, nice feed to Beffert. She was waiting down low, waiting for the opening.
And she's got to have a big game for Hutchinson today, Mike.
Well, Alyssa Stamer with a good find, and Hutchinson gets on the board. Grace looking to go inside, feeds it back to Maddyn Greenway. Turnaround is good. If the name sounds familiar, Maddyn's father went to the same school that Alex attended.
Yes.
That would be the Iowa Hawkeyes.
Yep.
Down in Iowa City. Here's Stamer on the drive. Grace Counts denies her. Greenway to Maria. Tried to hook up with her sister, but Grace wasn't in position. Verhasselt out to Watsky. Corner feed. Honecker got out there in time. Hutchinson will have to reset. Watsky with a bounce pass to Beffert.
Good fight again.
Brynn Beffert establishing her position down low. Maria with a little misdirection and scores. Maria's not the fastest kid out there, but she's gritty, and as you saw there, she's got a high IQ. And Maddyn Greenway has one as well with the steal and the floater.
I tell you what, here we are just almost 3 minutes in, and you're seeing what Maddyn Greenway can do on both ends of the floor.
It's worth pointing out that Providence was ranked number 1 in the preseason poll. Now, Connor and every coach will tell you those are just snapshots in time. And a fortuitous bounce for Hutchinson. Stamer almost lost it. Instead, she'll go to the line for 2.
Alert play there by Alyssa Stamer, getting the almost steal back away.
Stamer going to St. Cloud State. Loves having cereal at midnight.
I think probably you and I have both been guilty of that during our younger days. I know I certainly have.
I wonder what her favorite cereal is.
We might have to ask her.
Also involved in volleyball. Well, the Hutchinson JV kids are enjoying that Fast fact, Stamer at the line. Well, do you know what her favorite cereal is? Okay, they couldn't hear me. Maybe they know. High, low.
Yep.
Yes. Grace counts to Emma Millerburn. Grace is quite versatile. Providence applying pressure. Hutchinson breaks. Schleter for 3. Yes.
Bang.
A textbook touch shot in transition, and Hutchinson back within 1. 10-9 to score. Honecker with the answer. Short that time. Hutchinson on the move. Watsky. Now Stamer has it. Trying to shake off Greenway. Watsky again. And that's number 21, Elsie Brosma. Our first substitution. Here's Greenway. To Counts. That's number 44, Hope Counts, the tallest of the Counts sisters. Although all of them are pretty lengthy. There are 7 Counts offspring in all.
It's steal.
Hutchinson timed it. This is Stamer.
Oh,
coast
wow.
to coast and the foul.
What a finish.
Stamer considered one of the top 3-point shooters in the state. Patterns her game after the late, great Kobe Bryant.
Yep.
Now, although she hasn't taken a 3 yet, she did say the biggest key if you want to be a successful 3-point shooter is consistency. In your practice habits, in your shooting motion, getting shots up every single day. And that discipline also works at the free throw line. Stamer completes the 3-point play, and Hutchinson retakes the lead, 12-10. Long way to go. There's the Count sisters, 41, 42, and 44. And we've got a foul on Hutchinson, and that's Shannon Healy, number 11 for the Lions. Of course, Providence, no stranger to the lexicon of prep basketball. They won a state championship back in 2012 with Ray Finley. Deflected, so no backcourt. Alex, you and I remember those days of Ray Finley. It was a much different system at Providence, one that preached a lot of patience.
Yep.
You wouldn't see scores like this often in the early going. But they got a title out of it, and one of their alumni, Leah Zabla, is now the head coach at Crown College.
Yep. Very exciting gig for her.
Zabla, Division I graduate, North Dakota, if my memory's correct.
Yep.
Hutchinson with the ball. Boersma to Stamer. Someone left wide open. It's Boersma. Bullseye.
Takes full advantage of it.
And Hutchinson leads 15-10. Elsie Boersma with her first basket. This is game 1. Ooh, nice triangle set. Hope Counts with the rebound. Another one. And she's denied by Boersma, but Healy races back to keep it. Now Hope fires the corner 3. Comes up short. Maria Counts comes up with it. Grace with the mid-range J. No good. Another offensive rebound for the Lions. They try to work their way inside, and Maria counts with the fadeaway. I believe that was 3 or 4 offensive rebounds for the Lions, and it paid off.
Well, I tell you what, if you're Hutchinson, you're going to have to limit those second and third opportunities.
And then
and
Providence
just like
follows
that
that up.
goes into a one-point game.
Yes, I was going to say Providence follows that up right away with the steal and the bucket by Brooke Honecker, and Hutchinson calls a timeout. 15-14. We're seeing a lot of big swings early.
Yes, we have.
Now, Section 5 will be a little more interesting this year. Providence, the number 1 team, but Maranatha could be the dark horse with Tyler Coley. He brought in a couple of transfers as well.
That Section 5AA, that's going to be a really tough section to get out of.
For anyone not named Providence, yes. Yeah. But Maranatha Christian, they could be in the thick of it. The breakdown staff had them in the preseason rankings in 2A. Watertown Mare, another one to keep an eye on. Brooke Honecker, who scored the last basket, also runs track and field and says even though she's not very good at it, she likes to paint. And that brought back one of the many words of wisdom from Bob Ross. You don't have to be good at it, just stay with it.
Yep.
You don't become an expert overnight.
No.
Unless you're Terry. Terry's a master painter. He was born from the womb ready to paint. But I've got a feeling Brooke is better than she gives herself credit for. And if she isn't, she will over time. Providence applying pressure on the inbound, and it pays off. They'll get possession, and Hope Counts will draw the foul.
Alyssa Stamer will be Tigers' second team second.
There's Maddyn Greenway with another bucket.
So pretty.
She averaged 21 points per game last season.
Ooh, boy, that was
close. 2 close calls on half court. And Hutchinson can't cash in. Hope counts to the rebound. Here's Maddyn Greenway. She's got 8 points already. Greenway sees a lane, attacks, and floats it in again. Maddyn Greenway, impressive start to the season, and she wants more. Providence applying that pressure, and I wouldn't be surprised, as Stamer draws the foul, I wouldn't be surprised if Brian Cosgrove had a hand in that pressure defense.
I would,
from what we've seen out of Hopkins all those years.
It'll be interesting to see how often they want to, use that pressure defense.
Stamer at the line. Do you know what Alyssa's favorite cereal is? They don't.
Obviously, no.
Ask your sister. Okay. Fruity Pebbles.
Ah, good choice.
We got an answer. Fruity Pebbles. The breakdown gives us a lot of laughs. I'll tell you that much. My favorite, a couple years ago, when Frankie Vassalero said she likes to play guitar piano. Didn't see it coming. I threw that at her, and she was going, "How the heck do you know that?" I do my research. Stamer makes both free throws, by the way. Maddyn Greenway wants the 3, won't get it. But Honecker almost had the rebound, stepped on the line. You're not going to falter for the effort, though. That breakdown book is something of a running joke, I might add, because for years you had a copy, and I would always ask you, and now I'm the one who has the copy, and you've got to borrow mine, but that's okay. That's what makes this community great. We share resources and information. Honecker hit with a foul. Providence won't get the steal there. Or did they?
No.
No, they didn't. The official.
I tell you what, the thing that stands out when you watch Maddyn Greenway is just her length, just even for an 8th grader. Ooh.
Once again, the pressure defense. This is reminiscent of what we see out of Hopkins. They pressure you from the start. And I'm sure Daniel Makepeace knows a thing or two as well, because when he's not coaching, he runs all of those instructional camps, has a massive social media following. Greenway with the drive and kick. Well, it didn't go in, but not a bad play for Greenway. With the rebound is Avery McGill, number 14. Schleter off the screen. Doesn't see an opening, kicks back out. And Verhassel can't knock down the three. Dead ball rebound to the Lions. Well, Maddyn Greenway, part of this youth movement where you have these young sensations. Addie Mack comes to mind as well. Here's Greenway with the hesitation move, and I guess she is human after all. Brooke Honecker. Maddyn Greenway didn't see it, but Honecker got the rebound, and not a bad choice there. If you're open, shoot it. If it doesn't go in, that's okay. At least that's my attitude. We've got a tight one here, 18-17, 8:44 to go in the first half. McGill for three. On the line. On the line, but still good for two. And Hutchinson takes the lead again, 19-18.
Some good improvisation there by Verhassel. She lost the ball, but managed to recover and kick it out.
Your ability to think on the fly, so critical in this game. Another three on the way. That one no good. Maria counts with the rebound. Maria and Grace played on the same AAU team with the Metro Stars over the summer, as Maria counts, goes coast to coast and ends with the floater. Now Maria applying some pressure with Greenway. Verhassel, the skip to Watsky for three is short. And Honecker with the box out. Stepped on the line though. And moments like that where you see players, if they go out of bounds, it can be annoying, but as a coach, at least if it were me, I'm not gonna fault you for the effort. Get the rebound. Sometimes you run out of space.
You know, the one thing that stands out to me here in this first half thus far, you know, in the opening game of the season for both of these teams, you'd expect to see a few more mistakes, but this has been, in my humble opinion, a relatively clean game, don't you think, Mike?
We've seen both sides throw punches, metaphorically, of course. Providence on the run. Hope to Grace, bullseye. Keep in mind, we had a normal season. Everyone had a week or so of practice. Beffert can't clean it up, so go to the line for two.
And that's exactly what I think Hutchinson needs to do more of, get the ball into Beffert. He got away from that a little bit.
Beffert, when she's not playing basketball, enjoys reading and writing. And if she's not in a gym, her head is probably in a book. But you don't have to take our word for it, because Brynn said it herself in the breakdown book. Also involved in Key Club. Splits at the line. Hutchinson 6 of 7. Providence has not made a trip to the line yet. And Hutchinson was able to disrupt Greenway's dribble and force the turnover. 23-20, Providence leads Hutchinson. But to go back to your point, Alex, these teams, they've had a week, but you're right. A lot of times we see some sloppy play, and this isn't a knock on the players, but first game of the year.
Yeah.
But this Providence team, they already have a week of practice, and they did a Saturday scrimmage last week that included Chaska, the 4A champions. Greenway slices through the defense, comes up strong there. Beffert with the rebound. Stamer with the driving kick. Watzke does the same. They're going to try to feed it to Beffert. She's doubled. Watzke open from the corner. Swish.
Tied up again.
23 all. Healy with the answer, no good. And that is number 3, Hannah Peterson. Peterson with the ball, and of course we can't mention a Hutchinson game without referencing perhaps their greatest graduate in basketball history. She's coaching with the Gophers now. Lindsay Whalen is the person we're talking about, and Whalen giving an offer to Maddyn Greenway. Now again, Maddyn has a long way to go before she has to decide, but that tells you what coaches think of her already. And Hutchinson will go to the line because they're in the penalty or bonus here. But the youth movement we've seen from Maddyn Greenway, Addie Mack. Bree Bowman had a strong AAU season with North Tartan. All right, well, there's an example of your first game jitters.
I tell you, I like that last play there by Alyssa Stamer. Driving into traffic, drawing the foul, and now getting to the charity stripe to put her team ahead.
Offensive transition is one of her biggest strengths. She makes both free throws, and Hutchinson takes the lead, 25-23. A lot of lead changes between these two. And Providence, their schedule, they have picked up some tough opponents across the state. I'll get to that in a moment. Here's Stamer. She sees a lane, attacks too strong, and Hope Counts will chase it down. Providence will play Benilde St. Margaret's at the Tip-Off Classic next week. Greenway with the driving kick. Offensive rebound, Honecker. Maddyn Greenway lunges underneath the coverage and lays it in.
Just graceful, Mike, just graceful.
Are you sure she's an 8th grader? She plays like a seasoned veteran, at least from what I've seen.
No kidding.
Stamer, not quite. And a foul on Hutchinson. They have several to give here, 4:42 to go. Some other teams outside of the IMAC, Mare Lutheran, Providence will play them. Mare Lutheran, one of the top teams in Class A. They bring over a lot of volleyball crossovers who won state this year. This series with Minnehaha is one you'll want to circle on the calendar if we do have a normal season. January 18th is the first meeting. I might be there for that one. Although I gave Connor a hard time because I know there's only so much you can do with scheduling. But Providence, Minnehaha, their first game is the same night as Wayzata Hopkins. You're going to have two big rivalries. Why do teams have to do this to me?
I don't know, Mike. Oh, what a nice scoop layup.
That was Hannah Peterson who scooped it off balance, and Hutchinson up 27-25. 4 minutes to go in the first half. Greenway to Honecker. Providence really scrappy with the offensive rebounds. Maddyn Greenway, pure. And a timeout was called.
I tell you, for an early season game, the ebb and flow in this one has been fun to watch, to say the least.
Providence called timeout after Greenway made the bucket. And you wonder, why would Connor do that? Sometimes if you don't like what you see or if you want to go over some things, hey, call the timeout. It's probably better to call one after a made bucket because you have a little bit of momentum.
Well, I've always thought, too, that the last 3 or 4 minutes, the first half and the first couple minutes of the second half are always important in any game.
You're not the only person who has told me that over the years. This is my 15th season. Many commentators who worked alongside me have said that first 4, that last 4 are often the key stretches.
Yep.
Maddyn Greenway, 15 points. averaged 21 last year. And her father, highly involved in the sport. I believe he's president of the Wayzata Girls Basketball Association.
Yep.
And it's just great to see. We've seen the growth of women's leagues, the WNBA and women's college hoops. We're getting more coverage now.
Yep.
They're starting an Athletes Unlimited League for WNBA players.
Dangerous
Greenway
pass.
got the steal and bump from behind. Providence looks like the scrappier team out there when it comes to the pressure, the offensive rebounds, but Hutchinson, they're hanging with them.
Stamer with personal foul at first team sport.
Count sisters running a set for each other. And it's going to result in Grace Counts going to the line for 2.
Second personal foul on Stamer, Team Smith.
This is the first trip to the free throw line for the Lions. Connor Gates considers Grace a multi-tooled post. Can use both hands on the block and score with an array of moves. We saw that with her three-pointer earlier. And that's another staple of the game that is commonplace now. The post players who can shoot threes. It's not like the old days where you would just bruise down low. You've got the stretch fours. I think it's almost a requirement to have a three-point shot.
Stolen away.
And Providence, once again, the pressure defense paying dividends. Honecker can't hit the three. Providence read that pass. They have the possession arrow, and they'll take over. Providence, the #1 team in the preseason. But Connor will be the first to tell you anything can happen. Rankings are just a snapshot in time. And you know Minnehaha, they're on a mission as well. And let's not forget about Sauk Center or Maddyn Greenway. I don't think we're going to forget about Maddyn Greenway. Not after this game.
No.
17 points, and we still have 2.5 minutes to go.
Over there.
Providence with a 4-point lead. Greenway looking to extend it in transition, and she does. 19.
Critical stretch here now for Hutchinson. You don't want to let this one get out of hand in this last 2.5 minutes.
19 points for Maddyn Greenway. Hutchinson will get a second chance and a third. Tough shot there. Beffert cashes in. She was on a lengthy field goal drought, and Hutchinson, if they can feed her the ball more frequently, I think they can hang around. Greenway. Whoa! She's got the step back. She's got the transition move down. If you thought last year was a fluke, you need to rethink your priors, folks. That's all I'm going to say. (35-29), Maddyn Greenway with 21 points.
Uh-oh.
Loose ball.
Look out.
Goodbye. And we ought to give credit to Emma Millerburn, too, because she waited until she saw Maddyn streaking her way, because she was in a vulnerable position. You can't get up when you take a fall or you get called for traveling. Beffert and one. So that was hustle and smarts by Millerburn.
Yes,
Waited for Greenway to come, got her the ball, and Maddyn used her speed. But how about Beffert?
Well, I tell you, that was just going to say that what a smart play by Brynn Beffert there. It's important here for Hutchinson to keep this one within striking distance coming down the stretch.
And they certainly can with an athlete like Beffert.
She cashes in.
That makes it a 5-point game. Beffert with 10. Grace. Sister,
Wow.
and one.
I tell you, what a good find. What a good pass.
And that's the kind of synergy you gain when you're sisters. And the Counts clan, they play pickup games. They did that during quarantine last year to stay limber, stay loose. It helps when you have 7 in all. I wonder who wins those. How do they split the teams up? Maria Council completes a 3-point play. Here's Stamer. We haven't called her name in a while. Hutchinson looking to hold for the last shot, perhaps. No, Stamer sees a lane, but Providence was there to seal her off. Maddyn Greenway, she's not going to wait. She's going to attack, and it didn't work out that time. But she has 23 points, so you're afforded a mulligan every now and then. Providence with time. Looking for Beffert. Pass off the mark. I don't know. Okay, didn't go in. I don't know if it would have counted. But Providence with the solid first half, 23 points for Maddyn Greenway, and the Lions lead 40-32 over the Tigers.
I tell you what, that pressure defense that they've been using here in these last 3 or 4 minutes had a lot to do with that, giving them some easy opportunities. And I tell you what a first half for Maddyn Greenway.
I wouldn't be surprised if Brian Cosgriff installed that pressure defense. He was quizzing some of the JV players in the early game this morning.
Yeah.
But a lot of knowledge, a lot of talent on that roster. Hutchinson, no shortage of both either, so we'll see what the second half brings us. Yep. But stay tuned because an exciting finish is coming your way.
Twin Cities Sports Broadcasting, and a whole lot more. That's what you get from TSB Television. We provide long-lasting digital coverage of your favorite athletes from the preps to the pros. Dazzling moves.
Holloman, good if it goes. Yes!
Game winners.
From James. She's in trouble. Finds James. Toss shot! It goes in!
And everything in between. Before we let you go, do you want to say hi to anybody?
Oh, I don't know. That put me on the spot there.
If you want to connect with our audience, visit us at patreon.com/TSB Television or sponsor our coverage through PayPal and Cash App. Thank you for watching.
Mike Peden and Alex Nagel back with you at the St. Thomas Thanksgiving Tip-Off at St. Thomas Academy, Schoberg Flynn Arena. The first year, the tip-off has been held at the all-boys military school. Now, of course, they shared the campus with visitation. And I'll tell you what, Maddyn Greenway is feeling right at home here. 23 points to lead all players. Maria counts with 9. And those are your notables for Providence. Alyssa Stamer with 9, Brynn Beffert with 10 for Hutchinson, but Maddyn Greenway, 23 points. In the words of, I think, Vizani from Princess Bride, inconceivable. That's about the best way I can describe Maddyn Greenway's performance in the first half.
She's amazing to watch. Meanwhile, I think if you're head coach Tim Ellefson, one of your top priorities here in the first 4 or 5 minutes of the second half is to cut into that 8-point deficit, get it out about 4 or 5, get a little more manageable where you can start running your offense the way you want to.
Stamer passed right into traffic, was looking for Beffert. Instead, Maddyn Greenway with the steal. And how about Watsky? That's why they tell you, don't give up on a play. Watsky forcing the turnover.
Smart play by Watsky for sure.
But to your point, you noticed they fed Beffert early. Hutchinson got a couple buckets out of it. They didn't get back to her inside until late in the first
I think
half.
that's what they need to get back to.
But that's not easy when you've got 3 count sisters to deal with. Brynn Beffert almost lost the handle and recovers in time and goes over Grace Counts.
Yep.
But Beffert's got a little height too. This is the first of 5 games we're bringing you today at Schoberg Flynn Arena. If you're following along on our YouTube channel, the next game we'll cover is Visitation and Rockford. 2 teams I have not called before. Savannah Schleter with the interception. Stamer running baseline and ran out of real estate.
Tim Ellefson thinks that Savannah Schleter will be the next big thing for this Hutchinson team.
Well, Stamer was an all-state honoree last year. Brynn Beffert, all-conference. Hutchinson in the Wright County. Maddyn Greenway working off the screen. Drove into traffic that time, but knowing Maddyn, she'll be right back at it. Maddyn doesn't know the meaning of the word quit. And on cue, times the pass, steal, score, foul.
I tell you what, that gives you an idea right there of the kind of length that Maddyn Greenway really has, Mike.
The breakdown book listed her at 5'6". She plays bigger. She looks a little bigger.
She plays bigger than that, I can tell you that.
She certainly plays
much.
bigger. She might look bigger than that from here, but she definitely plays well. What impresses me, we were saying, when she made that drive into traffic, didn't work out, that's all right. Yeah. Focus on the next play. We've seen that out of the greats like Paige Beckers, Olivia Olson. I'm not saying Maddyn will be in that conversation yet. It's still early, and you know me, I just call it as I see it, but Maddyn certainly has that potential. That says a lot about a player, how they recover from a miscue. And Maddyn following up a miss or a bad drive with a steal and score, that speaks volumes. Hutchinson trying to dial it up themselves. Stamer can't get around the block. They'll keep it. 15:31 to go, and Providence extending their lead.
And Providence has done a pretty good job of keeping Alyssa Stamer in check here.
Stamer with 9 points, and Beffert, she has 12, but again, that long stretch in the middle of the first half where they couldn't get her involved. That helped Providence fight off. Remember, we had several lead changes in the first half.
Yeah, we did.
Maria Counts comes up short. Hutchinson for 3. Maddyn Greenway with the rebound. Tried to find Honecker. Pass was a little too long. Hutchinson on the run. Beffert. That will be a jump ball, so Providence will get it on the arrow, but Brynn Beffert's hustle showcased on that play.
Hutchinson, I think, maybe settling for some shots, being a little impatient. Settling for some shots that maybe they shouldn't be settling for.
They trail by 9. Grace to Maria. Maria short again, but she gets her own rebound.
That's easy.
And finds an open Emma Millerburn. So Maria.
Ooh, yeah, she stepped on the line too.
Yes, she did. I was going to say Maria took a shot against a couple defenders. Maria had the height advantage, but that's still tough to do when you're against coverage like that. Yeah. But when you're doubled, someone's open. She spotted Millerburn. Emma with her second field goal. Maddyn Greenway, pass deflected, finds Millerburn anyway, and Emma will go to the line for 2.
That one's going to go on Zoe for Hassel.
Tigers versus Bell on Zoe for Hassel, her first team second.
Alex, you mentioned what Tony might have said with the delay we had in getting in. What do you think he'd have to say about Brian Cosgriff coming back as an assistant after
You know,
being a head
that's
coach for 25 years, because those two had a rapport.
That's a good question, Mike. I hadn't thought about that one. I'm not quite sure how he'd handle that or process that.
I'm sure whatever he said, you and I would find it amusing.
Oh, I'm sure.
The late Tony Gears, who we're talking about, highly involved in women's basketball and promoting the sport. And somebody lost a shoe. It was Millerberg. That happens from time to time.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Hutchinson firing blanks here on the offensive end. They got to find some answers, and they've got to find them soon.
And you mentioned how that first 4 minutes is so crucial.
Yeah.
Providence able to extend their lead to 12.
Yeah.
Hutchinson held to 1 field goal in the second half. Maria coming up strong there, struggling a little bit as of late. She's missed her last 3 shots. But Hutchinson has yet to counter effectively. They'll look to do that on the 3, and that's short. Maddyn Greenway got hit in the face on that rebound.
A little slow getting up. It looks like she's okay.
Can the Tigers find the basket? They've been trying to do it from the outside as of late. Beffert covered well down low. Hutchinson looking to spot her up, can't do it. Stamer with 3. Providence sealing off the interior. On the other end, Greenway with the fast break dime to Brooke Honecker.
Nice finish here by Hannah Peterson.
You mentioned the blanks Hutchinson is firing here, Alex. I think a lot of that has to do with the fact they can't get inside.
Yeah.
They have sealed off Brynn Beffert. Again, she has 12 points, but more often than not, Providence denying anything in the interior.
And those second and third opportunities are not helping, like that one.
Maria counts with her first second half field goal, scoring on the second chance, and that's a foul on Greenway. Tried to poke the ball from behind against Schlueter. Maddyn not happy about that, but as we saw a moment or two ago, she'll shake it off in a hurry.
Yeah. Tough kid.
21 points, 5 assists per game last year. They tried to find Beffert on the cut. McGill couldn't hook up with her. Beffert had cut a little too far inside. And Grace and Maria, no slouches either. They averaged double-doubles last year. Grace, 13 and 11. Maria, 11 and 10, respectively. Points and rebounds, that is. Maria, 5 assists per game. And there's Honecker for 3. Hutchinson trying to get off the schneid. They're in a lengthy field goal drought. 3 ball. And again, Hutchinson settling for outside shots. That's not a bad thing per se, but when they're not falling and you can't get inside, it's really tough. Savannah Schlueter with the stop on the defensive end for the Tigers. Stamer trying to shake off Ely. Finds Beffert down low, and that is who Hutchinson wants to get involved. Hutchinson will call a timeout. So that's Beffert's second field goal. She has all the second half points for the Tigers. She has 14, but Hutchinson not able to help her out. If a couple more outside shots fall, that opens things up.
Yeah.
But I think in that sequence they noticed the Count sisters weren't on paper advantage.
I think the tempo has gotten away from them. You know, they like to run that. They really believe in that half-court offense, and that tempo has kind of gotten away from them a little bit here.
Hutchinson in the right county. Orono, one of those dark horses to keep an eye on. Southwest Christian, the newest member of that group this year.
It's always good when you can get me away from my comfort zone, which is the Northwest Suburban Conference. So when I get exposed to some of these other teams, that's always a good opportunity for me to learn.
Well, you and I will both be out of our comfort zone in the next game, Visitation Rockford. I have not seen either team in my 15 years. But for me, my comfort zone is wherever there's a game.
Yeah.
The Northwest Suburban, they'll look a little different this year. Park Center, new coach as Barb Metcalf went to Buffalo. Noah Dahlia McKenzie. Maple Grove brings back a lot.
Yep. Centennial will be a tough team.
They are favored. Well, they're in a favorable section now in 7. And
Elk River, I think, should be another
They
team.
surprised a lot of people last year. Now,
they did.
They got to state. St. Michael Abbeville, of course, didn't have Tessa Johnson, but they surprised a lot of people.
Yeah.
But let's not forget about their history.
Yep.
With Gabby Hawk and that state championship run in 2017. Yep. Gabby, by the way, the all-time leading scorer for Bradley women's basketball.
Yes, she's having a fabulous career there.
Had her on my podcast back in the spring after their first NCAA
and her younger
tournament
sister,
appearance.
Lydia Hawk, playing at Upper Iowa.
Providence hoping to add a little more history. Maddyn Greenway hustling for the steal. Here's Maria Counts, who completes the fast break play. As we said before, the Count sisters, they're not going to win sprint races, but they are workhorses. They're going to give you a determined effort no matter what. Greenway thought about taking it herself. Didn't like what she saw.
You know, that's one thing about Maddyn Greenway, just so unselfish. She'll find that open player, she'll kick the ball out to her. You better be ready when that ball's coming too.
And reading the floor. Now, you're not going to see a pass like that or a play like that as Hutchinson finally knocks down a 3. But how many times have we seen, Alex, where a player will try to force it and come up with a negative play? Maddyn, well, felt confident that time. But you have to know in this sport, you're not going to make every shot. And for Hutchinson, as Stamer draws the foul, with Schlueter making that last 3, what did they tell you? The best way to get out of a funk, keep shooting.
Yep.
Otherwise, you take yourself out of the game.
And I like that play by Stamer, too. Showed a willingness, again, to drive into traffic, draw the foul, get to the charity stripe, try and cut into this deficit here.
Most of Stamer's points have come at the line. She has yet to score in this half.
Breaks that spell.
Maddyn Greenway will take a breather, as will Healy and Maria Counts. This could be an opportunity for Hutchinson.
Well, that's what I'm going to say. The next big challenge here now for Hutchinson. You're down 12 here with 9-10 left. Can you get it back into single-digit range? 8.7 points, that could really change the complexion of this one, Mike.
Plenty of time, 9:05 to go.
And here you got some pressure defense.
And we're seeing Emma Boeing on the floor for the first time.
Possession arrow favors Providence here, so they escape, dodged a bullet there. Uh-oh. Yeah.
Timeout,
Providence knew
Providence.
she was in trouble and had to take a match to a timeout there.
And you're wondering, why would Connor take out his top point guard when you're up by 12? Yep. Players need a breather, of course, but it's the first game of the year. You don't have to worry about playing Hutchinson in state.
Right.
Take those opportunities and find out what your reserves can do.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
Because you may need them at some point.
Yep, you may very
Kira
well.
Miller was supposed to come back this year, but tore her meniscus, so that set her back. you never know. Next woman up, next man up in the men's game, next woman up.
Sometimes it's, shall we say, baptism by fire.
That's why you have subs. But if you're wondering why would they make that change, I mean, even Maya Moore needed a breather once in a while when she was playing. So this is a good time for Providence, up by 12. Figure out what you've got and how well they can hold the lead. And for Hutchinson, this could be a prime opportunity to get back in this.
There you go, right there.
Stamer with the steal. Of course, even without Greenway on the floor, you still have two of the Count sisters, Grace and Maria, and they're not going to make it easy. Again, they played on the same Metro Stars team, coached by Jackie Voigt. Deep three for Schlueter, short that time. And Miller burned with the rebound, lost it to Zoe Verhassel. They swing it around to Stamer for three.
That would have been huge there if she could have gotten that one to drop.
And I just think of the experience the Count sisters have had. They have Brian Cosgriff and Daniel Makepeace on the bench here as Maria Counts can't finish on the drive. In the summer, they were coached by Jackie Voigt.
Yep.
Who was a member of the Augsburg staff and
just watched them play Tuesday night.
One of the top players to come out of Park of Cottage Grove way back when. Brynn Beffert puts back her own miss. She's up to 16. Beffert doing everything she can to keep Hutchinson in this game. Grace to Maria, out to Honecker.
Uh-oh.
That almost was disastrous. Maria counts to Millerburn for three, in and out. Jump ball, Hutchinson with the arrow. So the Tigers get the stop. Let's see if they can get a bucket out of this.
Well, I tell you what, that's one of those, that rebounding ability that they need from Beffert, and they got it there. Her teammates call her Beef.
I wonder how that came about.
Well, very aptly named, I'll tell you what.
Hey, I got to give props to kids who embrace that. As someone who isn't afraid to use pop culture references myself.
Good pass.
Beffert again. She'll get free throws out of it. And Hutchinson slowly trying to work their way back.
Chipping away here, clawing their way back into this one. Prime opportunity now to trim that deficit back into single digits.
And Hutchinson, they've been getting to the line a lot.
And guess who's back in now for Providence?
I think her number is 30. But Hutchinson within 8. Let's see what number 30 can do to lead the Providence offense. Providence located in Plymouth. Lions tried to go inside. Beffert with the tip. Schlueter with the steal. Big opportunity here for the Tigers, and they'll get free throws.
Hutchinson perhaps finding something here with that combination.
This will be attempts 15 and 16 for the Tigers. Providence Academy, 3 of 5 from the line. And those points could be coming into play. Beffert's got a smooth stroke at the free throw line.
Yeah.
As we were saying earlier, though, this isn't the basketball of old where you had the post players that if they were shooting 50 or above 50, you were happy with that. These post players, they can shoot.
Yep.
And Beffert cuts it to a 6-point margin, 52 or 52-46. Maria counts. That was a much-needed bucket for the Lions. And Maria is up to 15. Hutchinson on the other end. Stamer going coast to coast.
Smooth move and finish.
Her first field goal of the second half, and the Tigers, they're not going away. Providence Academy in trouble again. Maria counts, launches the three, and it's good.
Huge three by Maria Counts.
Early in the second half.
You wouldn't necessarily think of her being a three-point threat, but
she had a big one there. Early in the second half, Maria Counts couldn't buy a bucket. She's in fuego now. Hutchinson looking for the answer. They won't get it, but Stamer with the O-board. Fires the floater and drains it.
I tell you what, I'm seeing a lot better ball movement here in the half-court offense by Hutchinson.
Greenway in trouble.
Good stop.
Can Hutchinson reel in Providence Academy? Stamer with that hesitation move. Beffert tips the O-board over to Stamer.
Stamer much more active here on the offensive end.
And Hutchinson will call a timeout.
I think that's a good timeout there.
4:36 to go, 7-point margin.
Yeah. Talk about it a little bit and see what you need to do. You still got a lot of time left.
You know, a thought just occurred to me as I'm calling this game. We've got Lions and Tigers. All we need is Bears. Oh, my.
Yeah.
I'll show myself out, folks. This is probably why you don't see me on ESPN.
Right.
I'm too vulnerable to pop culture references. 4:36 to go, 57-50. Brynn Beffert up to 20 points. Alyssa Stamer with 14 for the Hutchinson Tigers.
Well, and I'm seeing Alyssa Stamer doing a lot more on the offensive end, getting her team involved, going after rebounds, the small things that that don't always show up in the stat lines at the end.
I mentioned this a lot, hustle plays, when I covered AAU tournaments for Junior All-Star. We talked about points and rebounds and assists and percentages and numbers, but what you do in certain circumstances. I'm still getting used to the label of basketball analyst. I think there are experts who are far more experienced than I do, but you see what you see, and so I look at how do you respond to a mistake? How do you respond when the defense is keying on you? It's a long game, whether it's AAU or high school. Watsky, I think her three was tipped.
I didn't know if she was shooting that ball or...
I think a defender might have tipped it. Chance for the Lions to put this one away and start this season 1-0. Greenway.
Oh, what goodness. You can run out of superlatives when it comes to Maddyn Greenway.
That's just the circular path around the defense.
Oh, what a nice pass. Oh, couldn't get it to finish.
Hutchinson does draw the foul, but that's a bucket they have to have. Beffert with a beautiful backdoor play, but that's a layup you got to convert at this stage of the game, trailing by 9. That last bucket for Greenway puts her up to 28. And Maria counts with a denial on Stamer. Greenway through one defender, and she'll go to the line for 2. Greenway finished in the top 5 in the entire state last season in points and assists. Set season records in both categories for Providence Academy.
It still seems amazing, Mike. She's just in 8th grade.
I can't wait to see that showdown between her and Addie Mack when Providence and Minnehaha meet up in IMAC conference play.
Oh, yeah.
And Greenway won't have to wait long for her first 30-point game of the season because she just passed that mark on those free throws. Schlueter with the answer no good, and that has been the story of the second half. Hutchinson, they had a couple of chances to get in this, but they've been coming up short in clutch situations. Greenway found Honaker on the escape.
Still loose. Goodness, what a play by Stamer getting that loose ball.
She's in trouble, though. Hutchinson got the timeout call.
I tell you what, I like the fight in that kid, Mike.
But you see all the players diving for the ball, Greenway among them in that scrum. I wonder if her father, based on his experience, taught her how to dive for the ball when it's loose like that.
Very well could have.
That's something I think he had to do once or twice in his past career.
Yeah. I just like the fight and spirit of Alyssa Stamer, the way she doesn't give up.
Well, she's going to St. Cloud State.
Yeah.
You're not going to go to college if you don't know a thing or two about this sport.
Exactly.
But I think it comes down to shot making. Hutchinson struggled.
They did.
For a long stretch, and then these last couple of plays where they needed a bucket or two to hang with Providence Academy, they haven't been able to come up with it.
Yep.
Now, this is game 1, a long way to go between now and section play.
There's still some things to figure out, I think you can probably say, for both of these teams.
We have 2:38 remaining, and Providence Academy up 61-50. Maddyn Greenway with 30 points. Maria counts with 18. And let's not forget about Maria.
Yeah.
Because while Maddyn, I wouldn't say she struggled, but when she was less active for a stretch in the second half, Maria picked things up on offense. Beffert, one-on-one, attacks and scores.
I tell you what a strong move.
That puts up to 22, but Providence breaks the press. Greenway with the dime, Honaker with the fast break bucket.
Well, she was cherry picking down there, and it paid off.
Stamer in traffic, but she'll go to the line for 2. That is the last to give for Providence, so keep that in mind. Grace picking up her 4th. They're not keeping track of it on the board. But more importantly, Stamer putting some points at the line with the clock stopped.
Still, you and I have both seen some crazy things happen in a 2-minute span, Mike.
Even without a shot clock. But Providence has been able to break the press of Hutchinson on a couple occasions. And the Tigers still have 3 to give. So they have a ways to go. Brooke Honaker coming up with a couple of silencers here. Scoring in transition and again from short range. She's up to 8. Stamer with the quick answer. But Hutchinson trading buckets with Providence Academy. That's not going to work in their favor.
No, too late for that.
90 seconds. Hutchinson now trying to bring the press. They still have 2 fouls to give after Stamer picked up that one.
Alyssa Stamer, first foul, Brynn seems to do it. And Pierce, the pass will be Hutchinson.
Greenway got bumped from behind.
Tim Ellefson not happy with that call.
And the Tigers still have a foul to give. That's the 4th, I believe, on Stamer. Greenway to count. She wants the 3. Got it!
Safe to say that Maria Counts' game has grown some in this game.
Schlueter can't hit the 3 on the other end. And you know what? 2 years ago, when I covered Providence and Maranatha, Kira Miller hit a 3 late in the game when you think players would back off and try to eat up clock. Kira Miller said, I was feeling it, as Hutchinson knocks down a 3. Verhassel gets on the board. I wonder if Maria Counts picked up something from that game. She saw Kira's fearlessness 2 years ago, said, you know what? I'll take that shot.
Yeah.
That puts her up to 21.
Personal foul on Alyssa Stamer, her 5th personal foul by.
And that foul is it for Stamer, so she is out. But I don't think there's enough time for Hutchinson to work their way back. Providence eating up time now. It appears they have the win in hand. Maddyn Greenway will go to the line, with Hutchinson using up their fouls to give. Hutchinson, they were in this game.
You know, it was those last 3 or 4 minutes before the halftime break and the opening 3 or 4 minutes of the second half that really put Providence in the driver's seat. But give a lot of credit to this Hutchinson team, Mike, for showing a spirited comeback attempt and getting it back into single digits. That was not an easy thing to do.
I think what hurt them was missing a couple of key buckets late when they needed to score to stay in it. Because Maddyn Greenway and Maria Counts were quite the tag team in this one. But Providence has a lot of options at their disposal. The Count sisters and Maddyn Greenway. And that is why they are a favorite in Class 2A. But it starts with Game 1, and Providence will end Game 1 with a 70-59 win. Maddyn Greenway, 32 points.
I tell you what, just from watching her in this opening game of this 2021-22 season, she's going to do a lot of big things.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see more 30-point efforts out of her. Maria Counts with 21. Got to give her props as well. We'll try to get a word with them before we return. This is high school girls basketball. The Lions beat the Tigers 70-59.
Twin Cities Sports Broadcasting, and a whole lot more. That's what you get from TSB Television. We provide long-lasting digital coverage of your favorite athletes from the preps to the pros. Dazzling moves.
Holloman, good if it goes. Yes!
Game winners.
James, she's in trouble. Finds James, toss shot, it goes in!
And everything in between. Before we let you go, do you want to say hi to anybody?
Oh, I don't know. That put me on the spot there.
If you want to connect with our audience, visit us at patreon.com/TSB Television or sponsor our coverage through PayPal and Cash App. Thank you for watching.
Joining me are Maddyn Greenway and Maria Counts. Maddyn, we'll start with you. You didn't wait long to get your first 30-point game of the season. After the year you had as a 7th grader, what are your thoughts, your expectations going into this year, and how do you think it culminated in dropping 32 points to start the year?
I just think be more confident. Last year I came in, I was just a small little 7th grader, and no one really knew who I was. But now, I've kind of got, I'm just more confident, and I have played with this team for a full year. So I just think we need to come in, be confident, and a lot of teams are going to come out, to try and beat us. So yeah, I just think be more confident and ready to compete.
Confident might be an understatement with how you played today. Your ability to run the floor, get through traffic, come up with scoring plays, and I think the biggest play, you missed a drive, got back on defense, got a steal and run out. So how do you keep your concentration when something doesn't go your way?
My coach just always says next play. You know, if I miss a shot, I try to go get a stop on defense. But I know that my teammates are there for me no matter what, so I just go out and play.
And you mentioned having that year of experience, so getting to go through the sensation of making it to the state championship. You came up short against Albany, but still got a silver medal out of it. How has that fed into your preparation and your drive for this season?
And, you know, I just think we came so close, and I think that just pushes us even farther, even if we would have won it. So I think we just need to come back, and we know how much work it takes, so just go back and work even harder.
And I saw you already are getting college offers, so how exciting is that to get that kind of recognition early, and how do you temper that? Because you've got a long time before you have to choose which school you're going to play for, but to get that kind of acknowledgement early, what does that do for your confidence?
It just shows me that, like, all the hard work I put in and all the hours I put in the gym pay off, and I just need to continue to do that if I want to go to the next level. And my dad just always says stay humble, so I just need to don't let it get to my head and just keep playing.
Well, I'm sure you'll do that as the season moves along. Maria, I guess it's fitting because a couple years ago I covered your first game against Maranatha. It was your teammate Kira Miller who hit a 3 late when you were up to seal it. You did the very same thing in this one where Providence, maybe they decided to hold on to it. You decided to launch a 3. It was part of a big second half for you. So how would you say your confidence and your charisma have evolved in the last couple years?
Yeah, that I would agree with Maddyn on that. I think our confidence as a team and our confidence in each other especially plays a big role in that. So, like, taking that shot, I know my girls are down there going to rebound for me, and they know I'm going to be back on defense. So I think our team confidence has grown.
And you're one of 3 sisters on the Providence team this year. How do you think that adds to the chemistry? Because I saw you and Grace hook up a couple of times. I'm sure you've done a lot of that in the backyard. Hope is with the varsity team now, so you have a lot of camaraderie going in, a lot of experience too. How do you think that manifests on the court?
I think even in practices, it's kind of a different kind of challenge we give each other as sisters. So when we're on the floor, you can kind of see it play out. And of course, like, just passing and being able to see the floor, for some reason we can always see each other a little better. So yeah, it plays a role.
Determination was another element you displayed too. Early in the second half, you struggled to find your shot. Then you hit 3 or 4 in a row, I think, to help Providence hold off Hutchinson. So when you run into a rut like that, how do you keep moving forward?
We actually just talked about this in the locker room, is sometimes you can't throw it into the ocean, but you're going to keep taking your shot. You'll find your rhythm, and it's important you keep shooting. Don't get in your head. So,
I am curious, Maria, when it comes to those intra-family scrimmages, who comes out on top?
I will say my team. We're not selfish. I make sure that happens. But the winners usually come out with a bloody nose every time, honestly.
I hope it doesn't come to that with Providence, with Maddyn and the others. Now, I understand you're still working your way through the college process, so what is that like, and what do you think you've learned in this experience where maybe others have picked their colleges already? You're still finding that home for you. What have you learned throughout that experience?
I learned, and I am learning, that it's a lot more to it than just the athletics. It's being able to find a place where they're really going to keep your academics as first in your life. I mean, and a lot do, but I also, family plays a big role in my life, so I want to be kind of close, kind of far. It's kind of a confusing route I'm going, so yeah.
Well, I'm sure whatever route you pick, your family and Maddyn and all the others will be with you no matter what. Before we go, you want to say hi to anybody?
I don't know, maybe like my grandma if she's watching.
Sure, we can include your grandmother.
Yeah, that's it. I don't know.
Your grandmother is a fine choice. What about you, Maria?
I got some cousins who have been asking me to do this. John, Mason, Audrey, Kyle in Oregon. Yep. Shout out to you guys.
Well, congrats on the win. I know you're back here tomorrow, and we'll see what the rest of the season brings. But if today was any indication, I'd say you're ready to make another run at state.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you.
Maddyn Greenway and Maria Counts from Providence Academy. We've got more games coming your way from the St. Thomas Thanksgiving tip-off.